Folks, here to the semifinals of the iBUYPOWER Spring Invitational. It's Energy taking on Rogue. We had Rogue winning Energy's pick of Overpass in overtime, so they're one map up in the series. Now we go to their pick, which is Nuke. Dust with me is Topical, and again, just to remind all of you, we do have a giveaway going on, so be sure to check out the graphics down below for the rig contest as well as the grand giveaway. Free stuff up for grabs from our partners over here at iBUYPOWER as we kick off the pistol round.
Yep, Fugly's ramp room. T's are already screaming their way in. They now have ramp control. Daps is at hell right now, and he's forced to fall back towards CT. So Rogue wrapping. They really need to take care of Daps before they make one move one way or another, but they quad peek him. Target-rich environment.
Good luck, Daps.
Yeah, I mean, which one do you shoot at? Your brain can't compute all that.
I think he's just flailing around hoping something connects at that point. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't. Now Rogue do have control of ramp, as you said, and look to be going towards lower. Canadian's actually outside as well, so they have a lot to work with.
Cirque's in the vents, and he sees that they come down. He'll go to the backside, and it was a surprise that Cadian was there. The T's now are in the vents themselves. No, actually not. They're underneath it. So Ethan's down here fighting across the decon room. Hiko wins that fight, leaving it all to Cirque. 1v2. This is possible. And there's a kid somewhere. It's been dropped by someone. And he spots the first player across ramp room, and he knows the other player's in decon, so might as well fight one at a time. We'll just pump fake back to the site and come back towards Vice's side. But that exact same moment, Hiko will peek him as well from the backside and put a couple to his rear. And Rogue take the pistol round.
Yeah, just really good, sticking together and trading really, really well. Particularly getting Daps down, CT spawn, they just overwhelm him. 4 people peeking him at once. I mean, there's not much he can really do at that point. They also got a pretty clean entry on ramp room. And it helped that while they're attacking lower from ramp, you have Cadian coming, through secret to back halls, and so they had an extra angle of attack and all of that. And in general, just won their fights when they needed to. And now Rogue are up 1-0 in this map. They're gonna go for a quick upper push.
Straight through the squeaky door. This is a force buy from NRG. Takes him a second to take care of Breezy that was up on top of the hut. But for the most part, you've got Rogue in some control. This grenade could hurt. Just taps Cadian for a shade. Bomb will be planted next to the silos, and a return grenade right into his lap. Ethan's up here with 32 HP. Fugly's back here with the CZ and armor. Healthy as it stands, but I think they're saving. Back towards CT spawn from whence they came.
Yeah, you might as well keep the scout, keep the CZ armor, at least pose a threat in the next round as opposed to just having a bunch of USPs, because it is going to be a full save otherwise. They indeed will sit back over towards their own spawn. Rogue will go up 2-0.
Yeah, and Cadian's playing cleanup. Taking the Gleals away from CT's grubby hands, but nobody was even near that realm. And the only thing that could have been recovered there was a Mag-10, so who cares about that? Anyways, scouting his CZ into the next round with armor. Otherwise, it's hit or miss for NRG. Rogue starting off with a 2-0. I think this is how actually Overpass started out as well. Rogue taking the pistol rounds. And looking at the statistics, I believe NRG had some like upper 30% success rate on pistol round for Nuke. It's not all that pretty either. It's par for the course, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll see what they can do. Ethan does have this unarmored scout playing over towards Big Garage. He was smoked out from spotting this first player crossing through, which is Cadian with the Mac-10. Rest of Rogue kind of just sitting towards lobby, maybe looking for some type of aggression from his CT. As there is an armored CZ out there on Fugly, so he could be looking to try to make a play, but it appears for now he'll just be sitting on top of hut, holding an angle, waiting for Rogue to make a move, which Cadian's already made all the way down to back halls, and now Rogue are also taking ramp room control as no one's here. Gamon takes it by himself. The rest of his team will follow suit as they do take into lower. So basically the pistol round all over again, really.
Yeah. Ethan goes up the ladder as well. The rest of the team goes down the vents. They're going to come out the double doors right here, possibly with a multi-peek. Breezy's going to go up towards the control room. They got Vice tagged down heavily, but he's able to spin things around, at least keep himself alive. They want to keep these rifles in play. You have a little bit of extra fortitude as well with SMGs that are in-game. Dink donk. Hiko's got that one, leaving only Daps alone. So they'll get rid of that Mac-10, keep the rifles in play, and Daps looking for exit frags. Nothing to lose here. Might as well at least pin them down to that site. I would just make your presence known if you're Daps and threaten the site so that they have to stay at least to the other side of it.
A pretty clean 3-0 start here from Rogue. Didn't even really lose that many players the last couple of rounds, so let's save them up more money. They already had AKs on 3 of their players, so it will be looking pretty good when it comes to their economy and what they're going to have to work with in the opening rifle round. We did have a player drop, so it's going to be a technical pause while we wait for Ethan to get back in. So hopefully that won't take too long.
Hey,
he's already back.
That was easy. Just quick in out.
There you go. We love to see that happen when we resolve it very quick.
There's usually a caster curse that helps that along, though. If you ever sit there and wait for them for a while and they're still not reconnecting, if you go, all right, we're gonna cut to music, and then they just connect right back in. Like you just have to tempt them, and they'll be right back. But it's NRG 0-3 to start things out. They've got the cash flow for this round. What do you think they're gonna? How do you think their default rifle's gonna look?
On energy?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I mean, Cirque definitely has enough money for an AWP. I feel like he could be taking that either outside or a ramp room. It's kind of the 2 most popular places to have an op at. Certainly, it's a little bit more limited where you can play from when CTs spawn outside, because before you could play on the rafters, and that would give you a lot, and it also allowed you to play on top of hut pretty easily as a CT and get like aggressive on the boost spot, like the silo, which some people call Red Rock still because of what it was in 1.6. People call it Marshmallow. It's called Twinkie because it was yellow in source. So it's $1 different names, but the point is you could easily play forward on it as a CT. But now, because the Raptors are gone, you pretty much are stuck to playing Heaven, Big Garage, or having a player push up Secret. So a little bit limited on what you can do, but certainly the op can still reign supreme out there. It's all about, though, dealing with that smoke wall. Terrace will throw a lot outside and how you play around that. And other than that, just typical rifle positions you'd normally expect for nuke at upper, top hut, in the rafters, on the floor. Pretty well spelled out what the common spots are for this map for CTs. And indeed, Cirque will be taking his op outside.
A threat to Rogue if they remain out here and then they push any further. They're climbing their way up, maybe getting up on top of that marshmallow. Gimon's lining up a smoke. That'll end up landing at least one of the pieces for the secret stairs smoke. So they throw those 2 smokes, they go up and over. And Cirque, if he sees something, it would have to be across the backside of that red box, but that also may have been smoked as well. So he'll fall back towards the ramp room, giving outside control to Rogue for the time being.
Yeah, that smoke wall is up that we know so well. It gets them into secret. Ethan just kind of watching to make sure that no one breaks out of it and goes towards mini. Bug is actually on a flank through outside. So that could wind up being... Oh, no, never mind. He's in the back halls. Cursed you, mini, Matt, in your verticality.
Fug's down here. He's got the first contact. He hasn't seen anybody yet. So Gimon's able to just get real close, just timing-wise, with Fug just circling around those stairs. Daps is in the vent, so at least prevents them from going directly into sight. Instead, they'll have to go down and around and up into the control room. Rogue's completely fine with that for right now. It's a 4-man retake, and look at all the utility the T's have. They virtually came into this site only using some smokes to block off outside. So they got mollies, they got HEs, flashbangs, and another smoke to come up towards the ramp room. It's going to be a real tough look for NRG, and I think they're starting to get the gist that this is not something they want to toy with. They'll back off and save.
Kind of crazy to think that in a 4 versus 5, they immediately have to just backpedal. But when you get out positioned that hard and people are able to take into lower like that and pick off like the first line of defense and get the bomb secured, and you're trying to retake with an op into lower bomb site, also no kit, not that much utility on top of, you know, the man situation. They just... And you know that you're also going to have no money next round if you lose when you go for it. At least now you have basically a full buy this round again, instead of just going down 5-0 without any fight really in the 5th round.
So I think NRG are just they're gonna change something up. They need probably to help Fugly out down there in the lower halls if they're gonna give up outside control that easily. Not even spraying through the smokes or anything. No HEs, nothing out there to even soften those targets for Fugly to be able to deal with. You have a smoke, bursted up door, double flashbang through. Daps looks like he's blind as a bat. Cadian's trying to struggle his way through the vents, but he can't. I think he's caught. Actually, he'll back up. I'm so confused right now. There he is.
Cadian's found his way. He's in there now.
Sometimes
it took him a while to find the hole, but he found it.
Yeah. So it is 5-on-5, but with Cadian's position down there, they want to be able to exploit this. He's basically looking to see if he can catch somebody pursuant of him through here. All the while, the rest of the
Yeah,
team
he could also
starts
come
ramp.
up later if they like go some action at upper and catch someone off guard. But instead, Rogue will just divert over to ramp room where Vice will find 2 entries and they get a man advantage and a little bit of map control out of it. And K is still holding Vince, so it gets really scary for me at this point. They're just losing players all over the place.
Katie, the patience from Katie, and he saw the shoelaces, right? Yeah, he did. He'll turn back, stick that barrel into Cadian's gut, show him how to use an op. No chance for Cirque to win this round unless he picked off Sick there. I think he was just intent on getting out and either going towards T or CT spawn and finding solace back there. If he managed to get Sick there, there's a chance that, hey, now it's 1v2 and the bomb's still pretty early. There's an opportunity to win that round. I'd say he recovers the AK and then tries it that direction. But a 5-0 start for Rogue. NRG are stretching the dollar bill to its absolute limits.
Yeah, it really helped that they just didn't go for that retake in the previous round when it was going to 4-0. Really helped them keep guns going these past couple of rounds. But they don't have the utility, so fast upper pushes are a lot more dangerous. So Breezy from Mini's doing a great job.
Ooh. Right through that tiny, tiny little door. I mean,
what an ace.
Everybody is able to just focus fire. I mean, Breezy got it done. He got all 5 kills, but it was definitely to the assist of the rest of his team. But Rogue just sprinting in. They didn't even do any economic damage. A perfect round for NRG. And you see that a lot. A lot of CT sides will just default a Molotov to Squeaky Door anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just Rogue thinking, okay, they shouldn't have a lot of utility. We should be able to just push door and hut without worrying about incendiaries. And they did get out, but Breeze was just on point. That wasn't some, you know, unimpressive eco ace or something like that. That was just straight up beating down riflers with his M4 on his own. So a really big play that gets him a life to energy, hopefully. As Ethan's watching this outside cross around the edge of the smoke, does catch Cadian. And will drift back, has a teammate in secret as well to assist him. It's going to be Cirque with the AWP.
Oh, the timing. Cirque was seeing nobody, so starts to fall back. It ends up Hiko just taps him once.
Took a visit to Hiko's barbershop over there.
Yeah. 3-on-4. Quick recovery from Rogue now to take a man advantage. And Fugly's in the locker room right now. He's got 2 of them lined up. Like dominoes, they fall, and suddenly it's right back the other direction. NRG now have the man advantage earned back to the single hand of Fugly.
That was huge. Those 2 kills changed around big time. It was looking pretty good for Rogue up until Fugly lines up those 2, and now it's actually the advantage for Energy instead. There's still a decent amount of time left, and Rogue do have full control of outside, and they can do a lot with this. They could boost into heaven. They could go secret to lower. So CT still need to be a little bit careful, but they have the luxury of having that additional player to rotate a little bit more freely.
Daps is hunting Sick. Oh, Sick touches feet to the ground and gets Daps. Daps should have had him dead to rights. 2-on-2 with 27 seconds. Enough time to work with. NRG, though, was able to soak up a lot of that clock just based on where they saw the bomb from Fugly's multi-kill out there. He's chilling out watching Hellside, so there's only one way for them to go. It's wrapping around straight through Mini. Sick is going to be first. Hiko in tow. And they got Breezy. Without the window there, there's no way to clear out the hut. So they go down the vents. They'll take the safe route. 5 seconds and just enough time to be able to plant the bomb safely on the other side of the silo.
This is really good. I like the incendiary and vents. I like them together in this room, but still traded out by Fugly. He had a big round. He had the 2 kills in hell. Gets the final 2 kills of the round. Also, big play. So basically, it's Energy winning rounds off of big individual efforts. Breezy has the ace. Fugly with the quad kill. But you have to wonder, can you really be relying on that all the time to win rounds?
Yeah, can you maintain that? If Rogue continued to make a couple positional errors, that at the very end of that round 2v2, it's just they were just closing the door to detox, and it's like, okay, we're in here. We're gonna set up. We're gonna dig our foxholes, and we're only gonna open that door if they touch the bomb. And suddenly, both of them swung around, and they weren't even able to trade. I mean, the position was basically an unintentional bait. So 2 rounds in a row for NRG. Still guns in play for Rogue, though, and still guns to come. Because they'll end up with 3 rounds of loss bonus behind this and be able to buy again and again and again. And they can continue to keep that pressure up. NRG is going to end up on a reset sooner rather than later. Flashbang into Squeaky Door. Daps is on the right side.
That smoke is blocking Rogue from being able to peek out like they'd want to. Daps is kind of trapped here, though. As the smoke fades, he could get caught. Come on, is holding that angle, but no, Daps takes the fight instead. Now Ethan on top of Hut is slowing this Squeaky Door push, halting it right away. Bomb down as well. They had to fight to grab it back, but they're already down 2 players.
Yeah, Rogue got a quick going through that Squeaky Door. 6 spots a shoulder. He'll spray through, but a lot of the heat of those rounds taken off by the bomb silos. And a 3-on-5, so Rogue are going to have to slow things down. They have a minute to play with, so use 30 seconds or so to see if you can get one kill in one fashion or another through CT's peeking angles, or you peek a shoulder and manage a 1v1 trade out. But Fugly is watching ramp. Cadian is strolling this direction with Sick right behind him. And all Fugly needs to do is get one kill right here. And there's almost no chance for Rogue to be able to recover this ship. And there's the first bomb spotted as well. He gets the 1.5 on the next. Should be easy for the rest of the crew to be able to hang on. Bomb making its way down ramp into lower. Everybody's still in the high end of this, so it might net a bomb plant. Ethan comes down the vents. Nope. Denied. Door open and fires in 13 seconds. He goes hoping for a dream here, but he's being coiled up, wrapped around. And yet, I swore there was going to be a bomb plant there, but it's difficult to tell where and how fast the CTs are coming down. They were able to stop that one, and no more money influx, but still enough to just be able to barely scrape by AKs.
Oh, energy
with utility.
They've won 3 rounds in a row now, and they actually have Rogue's money draining out at this point. Rogue's still able, with their winning streak from previous rounds, to get an AK buy going with full armor across the board, and they have a decent amount of utility. But yeah, like you said, the squeaky door pushes aren't really working anymore. They need some type of pop flash or some other type of utility to help them get out, or they need to shift their focus elsewhere. And it seems like they've chosen the latter option. They're going to be looking to use the smoke wall to get secret, which is very, very common stuff. Not going to be able to really do much about it. Trying to take some shots with the smoke, but not going to land his mark. And so this is that lower control from Rogue. What can they do with it, though? They've been pretty successful in converting this lower control into rounds. Like, they've been pretty good at swarming the site once they get back halls and dealing with Fugly and whoever else is defending down here. It's going to be Dats this time, though. Putting some utility down and slowing them. Big time.
Daps and Fugly are down here. They're basically watching a crossfire. As soon as these T's hit the intersection, could be some fireworks. Ethan's flirting with the idea. He's right at the top of the vents. He could come down at any moment. So the last time Rogue were down here like this, they were able to overwhelm Fugly, and they've got a Molotov to his position. So Daps as well falls back because Fugly can't support on the flank directly. So rather than having a 1vx peaks, however many terrorists are running that corner, they both pull back. And it looks like Rogue as well are going to yank their way back and go up towards possibly hell and then heaven, strike upper.
That's a big kill from Cirque, though. It gives Energy the man advantage here. And now Rogue's actually really running out of time. They're trying to split upper through heaven and through mini, but Ethan still has his close-up angle at the vents, and no one's doing anything about him. And Fugly comes up for assistance on top of things. And Energy, absolute shutdown across the board. Rogue, yeah, they got that back halls control, but like you said, that crossfire was lingering. They didn't want to play into it. They tried to, you know, reroute, go for something else, but I think they were kind of stressed by the fact that they had such limited time left, and they weren't really able to clear all their corners as they normally would be able to if they had the luxury of time.
Well, I think Rogue that was a full intended strat from the get-go. They get down into those lower halls. It's telegraphed to NRG that this is what we're doing. We use the secret stair smokes to get down here. We're going to chill down here for a while for the majority of the round. Throw more utility down here as well to commit and try and pull rotations back. Instead, they back up. They go out through the garage and try and go into heaven and hell. But that's where Cirque, of course, was waiting with open arms. And it was a pretty good, ended up being a split through basically mini and attempted to get up into heaven to work that A site. But it relies on NRG to rotate. And this map being as it is, it's pretty quick rotations one way or the other.
Absolutely. And so it is Rogue finally coming to the end of the money in their savings account, and so they will have to try to rebuild that now. But they're going to go for an armored pistol play. They're all going to try to come out of hut with this pop flash from Hiko and just see if they can get some shots going their way, but that is going to be all but the case. It's Freezy again on cleanup duty in the upper bomb site. Gets 3 this time around. Rogue only good for a couple of kills onto that one, and now we're all squared up at 5 apiece.
5 all, and I mean, look at the money for NRG. They had multiple
16K.
players. Did he? Oh yeah, he's got the kids set to go to college at this point, so he'll rebuy a little bit back into this round.
At least
but
for
their
half
money's
a semester,
set. Right? Yeah.
Depends on which country he's trying to pay for their college.
Sort of private school, public school.
Yeah.
But, well, actually, we could actually transfer to that. Isn't there a couple courses out there that are... Oh, we'll get into it later. This is a rifle round anyway. First casualty of war very quickly is Cadian. And you take damage on Vice and Hiko. And Ethan's in mini. He's got support here. Daps is just on the other side at Ninja. Ethan's got one. Look at him on second as well. It's just melting them as they round that corner one at a time. Only 6 standing. And it's very, very obvious of where he is. In fact, his time was limited because you had players coming up through the secret stairs as well to end that round rather quickly. But what I was getting at is there's schools now that offer esports courses, aren't there?
Yeah, I saw like an ad the other day for like they're looking for an adjunct professor for like one college to teach. I think it's like an advanced journalism course that specializes in esports. I don't know, so there's definitely some stuff adding to the curriculum of the university, but I think that round really just boiled down to the fact that Ethan got way too much up in that position in mini. Like, Rogue need to trade better than that if they want to get to these bomb sites. I mean, yeah, you're taking outside control pretty consistently, you're getting back hauls when you want to, that's great, you're able to get some map control, but eventually you do have to break through into a site, and when you're dealing with CTs that can quickly rotate between the two sites through vents and through ramp room, that means that you have to have that extra oomph to get the kills you need quick enough to get in before reinforcements arrive, and certainly didn't deal with Ethan very well in that previous round. And now in this one, bro, kind of slow it down. Just kind of, you know, one radio room, one watching lobby push, a couple towards outside, but Cirque's op able to find the opening pick.
Cirque peeks out wide. We'll give some support to Ethan. And work for the next one. That one was a low blow against Sick, and Ethan will make sure that it was a clean kill after that. Only Guimon and Vice. Man, these rifle rounds for Rogue have really landed flat. Breezy's even aggressive through the hut. And his body is more than worth it for the sacrifice to really stop. I mean, we've seen NRG playing pretty passive in the first quarter of this. They changed their whole compulsory addiction to playing passive, and then they go aggro. If there's no aggression from Rogue at the mid-round or anything like that, everybody's starting to poke outside and look out that secret side, come out of the garage, give them pressure outside, and give them pressure towards the lobby. They're ruining Rogue right now.
Energy's won 7 in a row to take the lead from Rogue. Looking so good at the start of this. But now they're starting to run dry on options, and Gamon's already taken damage just from that fall he took there. It's another eco from Rogue, and Ethan outside. Cuts them off at the pass here at the mini garage. All on Vice. Does get a couple of kills, but not going to make it much further than that. Trying to pick up a rifle. Cirque catches him, and so it's 8-5 for Energy. And if they wound up winning out these last 2 rounds and going up 10-5, they'd still be pretty happy about the half, I'd think.
Yeah.
Especially considering how it started.
I mean, they're with 8 rounds in a row. At the beginning of this round, there was 16 grand on both Daps and Cirque, and I think 15 grand in Ethan's pocketbook. So, like, they haven't, ever since the 6th round came along, they haven't ever been pressured. I mean, it's not even been that many kills. It's just been a severe drought for Rogue. And we'll see what NRG, if they continue to play this initial hesitate and then play aggressive. Cirque sends one, splits the wickets actually between the terrorist's legs. He'll get the kill and fall back into the next defendable position, and Sick just gets wrecked. Cirque's now actually in a pretty aggressive spot. Usually you shoot and scoot.
Yeah, Cirque's been doing that the last few rounds. He's actually been the big part of the early round, like getting that initial kill, maybe even getting a second. Last round he did the same thing, where he got a pick somewhere in upper and then flew outside to help Ethan and got a second kill. He's done it basically in a different location this time, but the same result of getting a man advantage for his team and getting 2 Rogue members off the board really early on.
Fugly holds the top of heaven. A couple players just beneath him. Vice is lingering around a smoke in mini right now. Can't quite peer into that A site. Though Cadian's back at CT, it does actually push Fugly down into the site, and Hiko's going to have to recuperate out of this, but great movement from Fugly to recognize where the pressure's coming from and make himself as elusive as possible. And still just playing ring around the rosy. Hiko was tunnel visioned and allows Breezy to get the kill from the hut. And that'll be a hole-in-one as Cadian just gets his head removed and his body falls straight down into hell.
Yeah, again, I mean, I think that it started with Energy making big individual plays to win rounds. You know, Fugly had, I think, like a quad kill round. Breeze had an ace. That's how they got their first couple. But then from that, they've really had everyone kind of just tighten up. Like, Ethan's been really good at, like, doing what he needs to do outside to either get kills or get information and, you know, just stay alive. You know, also held off Mini a couple of times really well. Cirque has really been putting this op to good use in early round situations throughout the last few rounds. So they're building off of the spark they got from some big individual plays, and they're finding more consistent ways to win rounds, and they've done it 9 in a row.
Fugly hears that ramp room is overwhelmed. Throw a Molotov to cover his own retreat into the site. And it looks like Ethan's going to come down to give a little bit of support as well, going towards the T-Tox. So right now, as it stands, Rogue actually have only had 1 bomb plant in the past 9 rounds. So that's just how locked down NRG have been. Ever since they picked up that first rifle round, I believe it was from Breezy's ace, or maybe that was the second round that NRG had taken. But this is pretty rough for Rogue after such a fantastic start. They're even taken outside with a little bit of a lack of utility that they have. They're down to a single grenade and a single flashbang. Looks to be a squeaky pop, and just as that happens, Daps falls through the vents. And these guys are now without utility. All the lanes of fire are opened. Only Hiko and Cadian left. They're going up into heaven. At least they'll have a little bit of cover to work with, but not when you peek out that wide. Breezy will get them both, and that's a 10-5, 10 in a row for NRG.
Yeah, really big half there from some of Energy's key players, particularly Breeze. He had that ace, and he also wound up with 18 kills total on the half, so really good work. Again, Ethan and Cirque, big parts of that, Fugly not doing too shabby. And yeah, after a hot start from Rogue, everyone kind of slowed down. Their highest ADR player has 73, and everyone else is 55 or below. So had a really tough time those last 10 rounds, finding much more to work with. So we'll have to see, you know, if they have anything in their own CT side. Can they come up with their own big CT half? Was 5 rounds enough? I mean, in older versions, a nuke 5 rounds is plenty. You know, you'd feel pretty good about being able to get 10+ rounds in your CT side and still be able to have a chance to win the game. But again, the sample size for this version of nuke is a little bit low, so it's hard to call sidedness, I think. But while we wait for the second half to start, again, folks, we do have a giveaway going on here from iBUYPOWER. Be sure to check out the images below, the stream for the grand giveaway, as well as the rig challenge. Again, giving away some free stuff, including a PC valued at around $1,600. Doesn't cost you anything to enter. And again, it's a great way to support the people who are supporting our scene by throwing these tournaments. Certainly a big shout out to iBUYPOWER and all of our partners for this. And again, we're just waiting for everyone to ready up to get the second half going. We're ready to go ourselves, but
you know what's interesting about that last half? Not once did we see any utility being thrown through the skylights. Never happened.
Interesting.
So I don't know if it's just that Rogue didn't have any set utility, or maybe teams haven't practiced that, or maybe it's just they have and they realize there's not all that much useful. But I did not see a single grenade go through those skylights.
Yeah, I think the thing is with hitting upper now, like you're obviously funnel either coming out of Squeaky or Hut, and without the window, it's hard to transfer between the two as a terrorist the way you'd want to. It does block CTs from getting vision from Mini into Hut, so it gives you a little bit more cover as you're coming out the Hut doorway, where all you have to worry about is the people above you, especially since like the half of the rafters don't even exist anymore, and it's been that way for a while, right? Like as a CT team, you can only play on like the little yellow bridge that runs across the top of Hut. You can only play on that, and then everything to, I guess, the right of it, like, or you know what Hut door opens up to is my point. Like you can't play on the rafters above Squeaky door, for example. So it does isolate the amount of angles you have to worry about as a terrorist coming out, but still, like you're getting funneled through basically one choke point, and like a couple of nades basically stuff you.
Right.
So
I think if they were just to connect those first 2 skylights all the way across, rather than having just 2 separated skylights, that allows a Molotov to come down and land on that really strong position for the CTs above the Hut, right next to that OSHA railing. Like that is such a tough spot to clear for the Ts coming into the site. If you could have a window above it, right now it's kind of dead center between. You can't get a Molotov to bounce in the right spot, but that position needs to be burnt out. And I assume if that window ever does arrive, that is going to be a standard Molotov to clear A.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't know if there's currently a way to do it with the current skylights or not. So yeah, that's definitely something to think about. At least being able to clear top Hut would be certainly useful. Now we are into the second half where Energy will take a crack at their own T side. Again, they're trying to force that third map, which would be Mirage.
And here they go.
Rogue took over pass in overtime in the first map, and yeah, Energy charging through.
Oh, Guimond messed up his movement a little bit, but he does have help from above. Vice is there, and really, you could just shove presents down the chimney chute. Looks like Guimond finally does die on the back end of Cirque with a two-piece. That evens things up, especially with Fugly in there as well. Cirque on 2, Fugly on 1. They just need to be able to find Vice and Sick, who are split. Sick is just on the other side of the squeaky door, next to where that window used to be. And then Vice is in heaven. And NRG can take their sweet time. A minute and change on the board.
It's been kind of a crazy round. It started out looking really good for Rogue. I mean, they defended the hell push pretty well. It was like deja vu from last round where Daps got swarmed by 4 players. But this time, it's the CTs holding on to it rather than T's being overwhelming. But then Cirque recovers with a couple of kills. And now we get into this 2v2 situation. Bomb is still in possession of these remaining 2 players. We have both CTs just playing together upper, just thinking we'll either defend this by, together or we'll retake together. That's kind of their thought. Vice is a little bit low on health, so that is something to factor in as well. There's also no kit on the CT side that I can see unless it's dropped somewhere. They're going to go for heaven on the Energy side, but Vice does have the angle for it.
This is the position I was talking about that's so strong. Vice is just against that railing. It's tough if you're coming out of Hut, but if you're coming across heaven, there's nowhere for him to go. It should be a 1 and done, but Vice makes it a 2 and survive. So there it is. Rogue picking up a little bit of a rebreather, They haven't had a round go their way in 10 rounds. And that's how the first half started for them. Rogue having superior pistols, especially on Nuke, winning both of them. But it'd be a shame if Rogue managed to get the handicap on the map with both pistol rounds, and that's basically a 6-round handicap. And the scoreline as it is now is pretty devastating for that.
Yeah. Also, they won the opening gun round in the first half and wound up getting the 5-0 because of it. So definitely not been successful on the gun rounds. Would be a real problem, as we do see Energy here on the force buy already finding a pick on outside thanks to Cirque CZ. And now Daps has dropped in for one as well. So Energy do maintain advantage. They're getting into outside, and even Vice gets caught out. This is not good enough from Rogue. They are losing duels they should be winning. And now Energy has an M4 in play on Breeze, who has armor behind it. So this is not looking good for Rogue at all.
Yeah, and Hiko doesn't like the way his cover is, because Guimond was outside, and he's going to get a 1 and trade it out. So he went aggressive, doing what you need to do. Be mobile on the map. Don't be anywhere stationary in a default position where they're going to start to clear out typical angles. But his auto shotty is now handed over to the T side. Maybe that warrants like a squeaky pop. Use auto shotgun to its advantage, or they just throw it away and don't look at it ever again. Yeah, I don't know how useful an auto shotty is for the T's.
But that's a tough round to lose if you're Rogue. I mean, they didn't do anything crazy. They just kind of swarmed outside, and you lost your fights against them. I mean, what can you really say at that point? Now we are going to see Rogue, of course, forcing back right themselves. That scrappy beginning to the game. Both teams find control until someone can win 2 in a row and tap someone out. You're going to keep seeing the force buys go back and forth, probably. But Energy could end all of that here and now with a victory in this round. They already do have control of the back halls and are working towards lower with a couple of players. Bomb's still kind of sitting back, though.
With his lower control, Ethan and Daps side by side, they're all the way up into control room undetected. There was a player that was peeking ramp down and looking towards control room, that being Cadian. I don't think he saw anything. If he did, he still knows that all this land could belong to the terrorists. Everybody's just sitting in an ambush position, ambush predators for Rogue. And
yeah, Daps and Ethan have cleared everything. Like, they've cleared control, they've cleared back halls, they've come around the squeaky, they've cleared that. Everything is theirs, and now Breezy will finally make his way with the bomb towards Secret to join all them, since everything has been cleared, except for the site itself. Like, they control all this real estate, but the people in the site and inside vents. They still have to win those fights.
Well, Sig gets a molly, and he's forced actually to the ladder side, where his teammate Goomba stomps him and keeps him down there. Maybe he comes out of this with that flashbang, but he sees the terrorists are still there. So the site now belongs to the T's. Well played, and it just removed all that territory from Sick, and now Hiko's going to have to take the same bit and run right across. He's on the catwalk now, catching the first, that being the bomb planter. Where's Cadian? Cadian's miles away. He's still upstairs. Hikos is alone down here.
what?
Cadian's up in the garage.
I feel like that Molotov and Vince just like messed everything up for Rogue. Like you could see they were trying to rotate through Vince, but then like you said, Sick run towards the ladder. He blocks a teammate who's trying to rotate from upper to the Vince, and that really caused a huge scramble from Rogue. Like kind of stalled out everyone, and then they just got disjointed. Cadian, like I said, never even able to get near Hiko to help with the retake down there. Hiko's already inside the site, popping people with the AK, trying to make a play happen, and Cadian's still sitting in the upper bomb site, running out of mini, running towards like he wants to go back halls, and he kind of second guesses himself, runs back towards the vents, and by that point, so much time on the bomb has already ticked away, and Hiko's already out of it, so
Yeah.
he just has to save a CZ and an armor. So that was real awkward for Rogue.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it just Cadian was in a position, and making no decision is obviously worse than making any decision, even if that decision's bad or it doesn't net anything. But they left Hiko out to dry, and I'm sure they would have rather had those roles switched, and they were able to save a rifle into this round. But it is just a CZ. CZ's pretty powerful as they are, but this is a old strat. You got 3 CTs back at CT spawn. Sick and Cadian are locker rooms in heaven. Maybe as a juicy trap, if the terrorists go outside, realize they kill both Sick up in heaven and player down in the locker room, they're like, okay, let's head this direction. And then the CTs come across CT spawn.
Is it literally just 3 guys playing in CT spawn?
This is a pretty aged strategy. I'm pretty sure Hiko has been using this one before. I've seen it utilized by Ronin down in the Mountain Dew League, but that was 2 or 3 seasons ago at that point. This is a 5-man retake. Get in there, make it bloody. They get breezy first. As they recover an AK. All right, Guimon can get out of there. He's got his prize. Can anybody else recover a prize?
I'm still confused. Like, why would you just triple stack CT spawn? Is it just to watch hell?
Well, the last times I was seeing it utilized was for when the catwalk existed, and it was tempting for the terrorists to go across that catwalk. And if you have players in CT, I mean, it's like a pinata hanging out there. The terrorists have no cover, and they're stuck up there. But now that the catwalk's gone, yeah, I kind of don't see.
I don't see it.
I don't see it. Not anymore. If this was 6 months ago, fine.
Yeah, I'll leave that one alone. I mean, you certainly make sure no one dies when you go for the 5-on-5 retake, I guess. Like, I don't really know. Oh, man, that really threw me for a loop. But anyway, we're back onto a full buy from Rogue, but Energy is certainly well out in front at this point, so Rogue have a lot of work to do if they want to avoid a third map being called for in this series. They're not going to have too many more buy rounds left either. I mean, if you lose this one, you're right back to a really poor money situation while Energies aren't going for map point. So if Rogue loses this, it's force buying for them for the rest of the game, right? So without this round, it's going to look real bad for Rogue.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they just haven't been able to do anything with the rifles in this match. I mean, Cadian has barely touched an op. And like you said, I mean, this is all rifles. They won't be able to touch an op again unless they win this round. Six got that first kill. That at least gives them some control for Mini, but the action's actually down low as the bomb opens the door. 1-for-1 trade for Guimon, but the site belongs to the terrorists. Maybe we'll get to see how well that red box is going to be utilized. Sick is actually out in the absolute open and fucking still red box. A player and a half. That trade's fine, but Rogue needs to start to get the move on to get down low. Bomb's been ticking.
Indeed, Rogue needs to make this retake work. They need to avoid the force buying the rest of the half, and Cadian does pick up Breeze. That's exactly what they need. All on Cirque now, 1v3, catches one. Oh, he kind of got stuck in the window there a little bit too long and took some damage. Now he has to try to come out and try to get this 1v2. He gets some huge damage onto Hiko, but still ultimately loses the fight, and Rogue win a key round. But here's the other problem. They have to rebuy 3 players, and they could get reset, and then they would still be basically screwed for the rest of the game on force buying. So they are not anywhere close to out of the woods yet, but at least they've taken that first step.
Yeah, it's a first step. 6 more rounds to go. It's possible. They just need to replicate what success they had early on in the first half. And NRG has just been so strong. This would be the death blow, I believe, for Rogue if they lose this round sent to an eco.
One health, bro. Oh, man. He got minced through the smoke.
He's going to be carrying an IV drip through him. Maybe he'll just be the meat shield for the rest of the team on
as well.
Entries. Yeah, and just dump that utility if they set up for an execute into the lower site. Make sure that he doesn't die with money in his pockets. So he is going to start that. Oh, he almost got bottled. He almost got bottled. That was so close.
Oh, man. Still dies, of course. With 1 HP, you have no leeway on escaping the flames. Caden's probably like, damn, that was a quick kill with my Molotov.
Instantly. Yeah, that was weird.
All right, then.
Damage builds up. So the meat shield's gone.
Indeed it is. He is out of this world for this round. As again, Rogue need every single round they can get, and they need them clean. They need to get their economy back in order. They need to work on this huge gap that Energy has created on the scoreboard. With Energy with a man down, still looking to attack into the lower bomb site, have taken control of the back halls.
They got lower control, yeah, for sure. I mean, Rogue's all down here. They've got a welcoming party. Here comes the bomb in the smoke to be planted. A little bit of friction initially to start as Cirque finds the first. Like I said, the CTs were ready down here. Cadian holds an angle, wins the fight, but only just against Breeze. But here comes the late rotate from Fugly. Catching the CTs as they rotate off the site to go down low. 2-on-2 situation right now, and the bomb's ticking, but a fresh Molotov for Daps. He'll take a lick of the flames. But Gimon's defusing. Actually, the Molotov was a bit too far, not directly on the bomb.
Yeah, I'm sure Energy suspected that the Molotov would get him off the defuse, but it didn't. But luckily, still someone there to save the day with some frags. Also, big kills from Cirque. He really helped make sure that bomb went down. So props to him. Again, it's another game where everyone you expect to be fragging for Energy is. I mean, you're having a pretty tight frag distribution outside of Daps, which is kind of to be expected. So definitely some good stuff here from Energy after losing Overpass and Overtime. Their map pick, which they probably feel they should have 2-0'd this series. I thought they would. But at least they're getting the job done here on Nuke for now to give the third map a real chance of happening. And it's looking pretty likely at this point. Rogue are scraping the bottom of the barrel to get guns going in this round.
CZ's powerful. We'll see how powerful it is. I mean, that's the mortar between the bricks. You have 2 bricks. You have an M4 and a FAMAS. So a real tough spot. And NRG has been given all of outside control, so they're actually wrapping from hell to ramp if they choose. And this would be completely on the back side, as Gimon and company are actually down here in the lower halls favoring towards the secret stairs. This is going to get really peculiar really fast. Molotov back from Breezy. They'll stop the CTs from pushing that one. He'll just take the bomb and run it right through Mini, because you have the high ground for NRG. They get into the A site without any blood drawn. Finally, some shots ring out all the way from heaven down towards the secret stairs, and the CTs are able to pick up that first frag. No kits, though. This could very well be a problem with how much utility that the CTs have to be able to burn the clock. Vice will be taking the high road through heaven right now, and he's so close to Daps right now, but he can't quite see through the thick of things as Ethan falls on the site. And like I said, the clock's ticking the whole time through here. Even though you've got some trades, it's 2-on-2. 2-on-1 now, and Vice is going to get cleaned up by Breezy and Cirque towards the end of that round. That's the 15th, and it was a force buy on the back of an eco reset for Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, getting a reset twice in this half when you're trying to play a comeback down from 5-10 definitely doesn't bode well for you is the point, and Rogue have not won the key rounds they needed to keep themselves afloat. Losing that 21st round is probably one of those final nails in the coffin type of deal, and this might be the last stroke that needs to drive it all the way through, as Energy are going to have 8 map points to force the third map. And again, it's Rogue with little to work with. They're trying to just pick all these fights outside. They're gathered up together here inside. Mini looking to maybe just kind of push out together and try to get these CZs flowing, try to get those bullets out and some frags going their way. But Ethan from above, like Batman, comes in for a kill. Only one, though. Rogue's actually doing all right so far.
You can't recover those guns, though. They're still getting kills. Looks like on the back flank. Gimon was actually up there through lobby, and he's got an AK. And he'll give some overwatch to the team. Well, to his one teammate. So Gimon still holds up on top of the Twinkie. Hiko watching the garage. They lose the both fights.
Oh,
That's a
come on,
tough
you did
one.
something there and didn't get it.
Honestly, that was the best
So-
look that they've had.
Yeah, that's crazy enough that they actually had a decent little round though in there. They kind of got trapped behind the box outside though and had really no way to get out of there. And so there you have it. The third map will be required to solve things here in the semifinals between Rogue and NRG. Again, we appreciate all of you tuning in. If you're enjoying yourself, please do stick around as we do have this map left to go in this series. And then we have a whole other semifinal coming right after this. And then, of course, the grand finals later on this evening. So be sure to be tuned in for all of that. Again, we do have a giveaway going on down below. Check out the graphics. We have the rig challenge as well as the grand giveaway. It's free to enter. It's a chance to get some cool stuff for free. And again, it allows you to support the people who are supporting us by providing these tournaments. So definitely go check that out. Also, if you're liking the commentary, you can follow us commentators. I'm at FollowDust on Twitter. And then it's at topical_TV. You can also type !casters in chat. I'll give you direct links to our Twitters if you want to give us a follow. And yeah, after a short break, we'll bring you that third map. So stay tuned.